Hello YouTube, thank you for tuning into my channel. Today we're going to be talking about spirit work, necromancy, and some symbolism. Now, necromancy first off means to divine using the dead. Necro meaning dead, mancy meaning to divine. This has become a blanket statement, a blanket word now to describe any form of spiritual contact. I have no choice but to go with that because there's lack of a better word to you know, describe other forms of spirit contact other than spirit work, right? We're in a living language. Words get more meanings as we move along. Now, moving along, uh, when you're trying to contact spirits, understand that you're trying to contact them from the other side being a barrier. So, barriers are used as symbolism in this form of magic. So, for example, in old grimoires, you're going to find people trying to perform necromantic rites in caves because it goes into the ground where Haiti was supposed to be. Um, there'll be obviously graveyards, of course, glens and openings in forest clearings and stuff like that. All all these in betweens can be used for your aid. Now, necromancy is understand uh, the symbolism with the sun. Every day the sun comes up, it sets. All through the ancient world, this was described as a life cycle. So the time to do necromantic work would be at night when the sun dies. Um, and of course, the direction of necromantic rites is the west. The sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Okay. Now, this was going to lead to our first meditation. It's called the Black Sun symbolism. Now, this is very important. Every culture on Earth has a concept of a black sun. The problem is that it's heavily associated with Satanism and the left-hand path. I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that some of the black sun symbolism in other cultures was used by, well, Nazis. The black sun that I'm talking about has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with the Illuminati. It has nothing to do with Satanism. The black sun that I'm talking about is literally the opposite of the sun. So, sun is life, having a lifespan, being born in the east, dying in the west. So the black sun, being the opposite of life, rises in the rises in the west and sets in the east. So again, necromantic rites. The altars are usually now you can face it anywhere if you absolutely have to, but the energies is use them. Okay, you face the west. Your altar face the west, or shall I say, your altar's back is to the west. That way, when you're facing your altar, you're facing the west. Okay, now this visualization at night, right before you go to bed, close your eyes and visualize a black sun rising in the west. And this black sun gives off a cool light glow with the same kind of glow as a black light. All right, and visualize it rising in the west and moving over until it's up in the middle of your your area. So now it doesn't matter if you're visualizing this sitting like you're standing out in your yard, but you know, or even in a graveyard. You're just imagining. Let your imagination put you where you want to be. You could be standing on the beach and seeing it. Okay. But let this visualization. Now, what this is doing is it's communicating your brain, and you're starting to pull in uh, the energies of death. Okay. And then when you wake up in the morning, you see it set. When you wake up in the morning, close your eyes, relax, and visualize that black sun above you setting in the east. And then do that for a couple of days. And you'll start feeling more about well, the other side. You'll start feeling the energies of graveyards and so forth. Um, Now, this is just a simple visualization to help get your mind under within those energies. See, the whole point of these kind of rituals is submersion. So yes, the old grimoires where they, you know, ate told you to eat dog meat because uh, they're associated with the ikate, which is the Greek way, the word for Hecate or Hecate. Um, Dogs were so. She's the goddess of magic. Of course, a lot of you witches out there already know. Now, before anybody tries to correct me, her name, like I said, Ikate, is how the Greeks pronounced it. But it can be pronounced many different ways, just like tomato. It's okay. But I pronounce it try to pronounce it the way the Greeks did, Ikate. So anyway, she's the goddess of necromancy. So you could definitely invoke her to, matter of fact, one of our rituals will. Okay. Um, but in any case, their dogs were associated. Other silliness that are in these grimoires that you can't see if you're a practitioner and you're trying to summon, you can't look at a woman for until the ritual's done. Doesn't describe that. If you yourself are a woman, do you have to look? Can you not look at a man, or does it the same apply? Right. A lot of this stuff, again, not needed. Some of the things that they did do, which would increase the rituals, were of course performing these rituals in boundaries and wearing the clothes that was taken off a dead body. You do not have to do that. You could also wear the clothes of the deceased that you're trying to contact if you have that available to you. But you could also wear old clothes, and you could put graveyard dirt in your pocket. Okay. Um, Now, if you're going to try to contact somebody who's buried and you know where they're buried, uh, use graveyard dirt from that cemetery plot. The closer you get, the better, but don't be digging too deep. There's no need to desecrate something. And always bring payment. It could be coins, it could be rum, liquor, whatever. Uh, as a rule of thumb, I prefer taking graveyard dirt from graveyards, obviously. I go to graveyards that are large enough to have their own crossroads, and that's where I get my dirt. Therefore, it's not associated with any specific body, just the energies, because you're trying to submerge yourself in the energies. The longer, and you don't have to look at gory pictures either, but you could look online. There's pictures, well, photos, old photos from the 1900s. Taking pictures are very expensive, and a lot of times the only pictures people had were pictures when they died. So there's a lot of pictures of dead people from this area, which can help bring in these energies by looking at these pictures. You could again, your altar can be with dead animals and decorations of skulls and so forth, uh, are all things that you can do to help emerge yourself. And this is very important. Just like any other ritual, you got to emerge yourself. Get your brain and the vibrations fitting with you. Okay, make them correlate. Uh, Now, as I did with the Black Sun, some of the things that we're also going to be needing to understand about some of the symbolism. Now, again, you could perform a necromantic rite anytime, but the energies also did indicate that the day for necromancy, the best day for necromancy, is Saturday at night, because Saturday is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn rules over life cycles. Uh, it also rules over contracts and boundaries, things that you're going to be using or trying to cross. Uh, so Saturn, it rules over necromancy. Um, Mars will rule over uh, violent deaths. So if you're trying to contact a soldier who was killed in battle, you might use Tuesday with Mars, the two main planets associated with this. Okay, uh, Tuesday and Saturday. Overall necromantic rite. Saturday during the hours of Saturn. There's charts online. You could find that. Um, so, in any case, uh, there's some of that astrology in there. We're also going to be when you do these things. You're also going to want to learn about herbs to make incense, because we're going to be using that, but that's actually going to be discussed in the next video. Um, well, anyway, so again, submerge yourself. You could wear, you don't have to be gory or something, but be jewelry. Submerge yourself in the afterlife. Okay. Thank you for watching.